Hey everyone, it's Sonia here with a special guest. So you have joined the Sonia Janice's I Am show, and today we are doing a heart to heart. It's been a bit. It's been a bit since we have connected with another soul, and if all goes right, we're actually going to be doing two heart to hearts back to back. I'm going to be doing one today that will be posted and uploaded, and then I will hopefully be doing another one today that will be posted and uploaded soon. So these heart to hearts are so special. Um, we really get to connect with the person decide to bring on the show. Our special guests get chosen because of the value that they bring to the table. And soon I'm going to have Christina. I'm so sorry. Good thing I put my
No
glasses on,
worries.
but said it wrong. It's Christina. She is a certified nutrition coach, and she helps you learn how to indulge without consequences. Now, you marry that with the fact that most of us listening to this are either in perimenopause or in menopause. Christina, welcome. We are going to do episode 185 together. This is a heart to heart, as you know. And please take a few minutes to introduce yourself.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yeah, you already said it so nicely. I'm a certified nutrition coach and also digestive health expert. And I'm mainly working with women in their 40s and 50s. And that's, as we know, the time when we're going through perimenopause first and then transition to menopause or post-menopause to be super correct. And that's the time when we are dealing with weight gain and sleepless nights, and our hormones are doing roller coasters. And I help women balance their hormones and do this with the least interruption of their days because I know how difficult it is to implement a new regime. So I'm always working with your life and then we just tweak it. And food is for me at the heart of it. So I love food. I'm a big foodie at heart. And so I just don't want anyone to miss out. So I show you and everyone else a way to eat and indulge without the consequences.
I'm smiling. I can't help grinning. I'm grinning ear to ear, Christina, as you are talking about integrating healthy living into our day. Um,
Yes.
just to keep things real for the audience, I know we talked a little bit about this behind the scenes, so we don't need to get into specifics here unless we're comfortable. But I'm 51. I'm going to be 52 in July. Can we share? Are you comfortable sharing with the audience how old you are?
Yes. I'm 53 and I'm turning 54 also in July. So
Ooh,
when's your
girlfriend,
birthday?
on the 28th.
Oh, wow. I'm on 23rd. So
Oh my gosh. Okay, we got two Leos in the house. Woo,
yay.
woo. Okay, so for those that are not familiar with this term, I am sure Christina and I are going to ping pong quite a bit because Leos like the center of attention. So it might seem that we are trumping each other with conversation, but we are ping ponging, which is what friends do. When we're sitting there having a
Yeah.
coffee or a tea or wine or margarita, whatever it looks like in your world, and you're cozied up on the couch and you've got your girlfriend sitting there, fireplace on, you guys are snacking on a charcuterie board, healthy charcuterie board. A healthy charcuterie board with this fantastic dessert that I just learned about. Can we talk about this? Can I share this and unpack this and get your insight?
Absolutely. Yeah, tell me
All
about
right.
desserts.
I am stoked. Okay, so I'm a snacker. So, first
Hmm.
of all, with us both sharing our ages and stages in life, you can all feel our energy already coming through the show. We're excited to share this. And this snack, my best friend told me about the other day. I wish she didn't. Well, I'm glad she did, but I wish
Oh,
she
is it a
didn't.
naughty snack?
I don't know. I mean, I do know I am a certified healthy eating and weight loss coach. So there's our nutrition comparison, similarities, not comparison. Um, our nutrition components, right? I do a lot of work with macros, is how I like to help my clients. And I'm not sure yet what your element is, and I want to save that for a little bit in the show. But let's talk about this snack that, ugh. Okay, so you take dates. You get yourself a
Hmm.
bag of dates and you put peanut butter on those
Oh
dates. I
no.
mean, I am sure almond butter would be better, but for the quantity I'm eating, holy. Okay, so you got your 5 dates on a plate. You put your peanut butter on the dates. Seriously. Then there are choices here. So yesterday, the first time I made the batch, I used cacao nibs and I warmed them up and then I poured like a tablespoon, not even, a teaspoon, not even, over all of the dates and peanut butter. When I did it the
Mm,
second time, I used regular chocolate chips and did the same thing, but there's no taste difference, I promise you. Then I topped them up with sweetened coconut flakes because I don't think I have unsweetened. So I added coconut flakes on top. Now, the first batch I ate room temperature and I ate the whole darn thing, like all of the ones that I made. The second batch I ate a couple, like 3, and then I threw the rest in the freezer and we ate them afterwards for a bedtime snack. So let's
nice.
unpack this. Honestly, each time you eat one, it's like 3 to 5 seconds of pure deliciousness. Like nothing tastes
Mm.
better. Have you tried it?
I haven't tried, well, actually, I think I tried something with dates and then I just wanted them to be really flat because obviously the sugar and the sweetness comes from the dates. I just wanted to keep this flat. So I rolled it and it just turned out to be super sticky. So I haven't really quite figured out a good way. I've done something similar and I have some idea for your snack. If you put a little bit, instead of the coconut flakes, why don't you put a little bit of sea salt on top? Because then you've got the sweet, salty flavor, which is just so nice. It might be even more addictive, which is the problem with these kind of snacks. Yeah, because of course, if you eat the whole batch, we've got something similar in the fridge, also with peanut butter. But I mix that with this is my well, I'm using this for since about a year, beef protein. And beef protein is really good because it has about 97% actual protein in it, and there's not a lot of other things in it. Of course, you if you're vegan, then that's not for you. But
Right.
I'm not vegan. So I put that in the so I'm proudly not weak vegan. So I put that in the peanut butter and then also put chocolate on top, put the whole thing in the freezer, and this has gone so fast. Oh, and the salt. So my
What's the
husband
base?
is the so the base is the peanut butter and the beef protein, and then
Okay, so
you just mix that. I don't
okay.
think there was much. I think maybe like 2 tablespoon of spoons of how's it called? The oh my God, what's the Canadian syrup? The maple syrup.
Maple
Yeah.
syrup.
Menopause.
Oh my
So
gosh, brain fog.
yeah, exactly.
Don't get
So
me
that
started.
one.
I'll be mid-sentence and I'll be like, what was that?
uh,
Yeah, no
what did
clue
I
what I was
say?
talking about. No clue. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I am so sorry for interrupting. Okay, so you make a similar snack, but you merge peanut butter with beef protein.
To just to up the protein. So we have like per little square, it then ended up to be 8 grams of protein and very low carb. And that's exactly what I wanted. And then I put the chocolate on top. So you had, after it came out of the freezer, you had this nice crunch. So you bit on it and then you had this to get through it. And then you had the soft peanut butter, the nice
Ah,
saltiness. It was just so good. So we keep them in the freezer. And I really, really have to pull myself together not to eat too many of them because, of course, we know like peanut butter is okay, but it's high in fat and
it
yeah,
is. Yeah.
but it's very good. My husband also, when he discovered them, he loved them.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
So,
Same thing. Yeah, we've been sharing them when I
yeah.
share them.
But I have
So,
to try yours as well with the dates. This is
yeah.
definitely one on my radar. So that it's a little bit like Twix, basically what we want to recreate.
Pretty much, but yeah, I mean it dates. So the fiber that you're getting from the dates, which is an incredible amount of fiber, think that, dates are made from prunes. We drink prune juice at the hospital when we are constipated. Dates are so good for you. When we boil
Mm,
them, we're using the sugar and the fiber together to make the sweetness and the base for a lot of recipes, right?
mm.
So you're getting, and fiber, I forget which book I read this from. You can add to it if you remember, but fiber is the antidote to sugar. It balances
Yes.
out and counteracts sugar. So the date component is doing that. But
Mm.
really, when you think about it, where else are you getting sugar? Peanut butter's fat, not protein for those who are listening. There is a very little bit of sugar on top.
A
If
good
you're,
point. Because there's actually, I was asked if you could just have this as your protein source. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. No, it's not your
guys, if you
protein source
don't know, when I
from
said I talk about macros, if you don't know, look at the look at the ingredient list and look at the macronutrients on there. You will see protein is on there, but fat is higher. That's where it falls. It
Mm,
falls in the higher category. So we have fat, we have the fiber from the prune, that little bit of chocolate that's teaspoon that gets that's not really much on all of them.
mm.
Um, I don't see how these are bad for you,
No, they're
especially
not.
if we're using cacao
Yeah. Which is
and
also really healthy, high in antioxidants.
right?
So that's a good one. The only danger, I think, is overeating on them. So in small amounts, it's great. So, but maybe you just have when you do this the first time, you just go all in, and then
Yes,
the next time you know, okay, or you
you
just
go,
what I sometimes do, I just put them in the freezer, like for longer, so that you basically
oh,
can no longer eat them. Yeah.
not for a couple of hours, you mean for a day or two?
So basically, yet that you cannot eat them immediately. So when you're just like, I want to have them, you first have to defreeze them. And during that time, you can think
No,
about,
eat
do
them
I really want that?
frozen. Eat them frozen.
Hmm.
It takes longer.
Oh, okay. Wouldn't work on
And
you.
well, here's the thing. Let's go back to being children for a second. And I don't know about your mom. My mom would put bake cookies and then put them all in the freezer for when she needed them. So it was
Yeah.
a guilty pleasure was to sneak a frozen cookie from the freezer.
Oh, okay. But I mean,
Oh,
you can pretty much freeze everything.
I know, but
Okay,
I
so I
always
would
would,
do this. Yeah,
yeah,
but
I would go and sneak
oh,
a cookie as a
resourceful.
kid as like a guilty pleasure,
Mm,
right? So, and maybe that's where we associate things that are so good for us because we're not shown how to embrace them, just like you said. Day one, when you try
mm.
it, you love it, eat as much as you want, but know that this is the only time, right?
Yeah, so then you just also have to say, do not try out new recipes every day. So, yeah.
Or find your trap.
Yeah,
Like for me, do you have a daily trap at a time of day where you slump and nothing matters and then you're trying to pick
I
yourself
do.
back up? Yeah, so talk
Probably
to
a
us about your
similar
trap.
time to you. It's in the late afternoon. Yeah? So it's about an hour from now. This is usually when I'm just walking. So I'm pointing here because this is where my fridge is. It's only a
Right?
few steps away. And then I just open the fridge and just look for something. And most of the time I don't have anything in there so that I cannot eat anything. But I've learned actually something really good yesterday. So I had an expert in my so I just launched Bloom Club, which is a membership, and we have expert speakers in there, and we had a movement specialist, and she showed us how to do like a 15 minutes routine to just wake yourself up if you're sitting for long hours. And I did that with her, and it was at 5 p.m. And it was I felt so energized after that, and it was basically the perfect alternative to having a snack. Just starting to move. All of the blood was flowing. My head was clear afterwards. And I just thought, this is exactly what I'm going to do from now on. I just have a little movement break and just do some exercise. Exercise snack. Yeah.
Exercise, well, and that, you know, that we can expand on as well because I did the same thing. Normally my pitfall is around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh,
So a little
earlier.
bit earlier than yours. Sometimes I'll get it in the morning, depending on how, like around this time of day where I feel like it's too early for lunch, but I'm getting hungry.
Mm.
I would be getting hungry. I'm not now. I balanced it differently today. But the other day I did the same as you. I did an exercise break and I was deciding what to do. and I ended up taking my dog for a walk outside around the
Nice.
block. And when I got back, actually, the interesting thing is this is where I learned that recipe because I called my best friend who lives 5 minutes from my home. She was working
Yeah.
from home that day. She picked up her dogs and went for a walk while I went for a walk. So we talked the whole time. I came back, I started to make lunch. She came back, she started to make lunch. And the feeling when you are doing something healthy and then you are doing something else healthy, I didn't hit my threshold until closer to 5:30, closer to dinner.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant.
It
Brilliant.
pushed.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to bring up. We all have this daily trap that tries to pull us down. And once we're down, we're down. I mean, I'm already down for different reasons. I have,
Mm.
for those that are new, depending on whose channel you're listening this to, I have inflamed nerves in my head for the last 2 years. It'll be 2 years in May 13th, 2025. So what that means is I get flare-ups, during the weather. I cannot make plans very well. Some days my face swells up. I can't wear my glasses. So eating healthy is
Oh,
key,
wow.
but having the bandwidth to do it isn't always there, right?
Mm.
So I get tired for different reasons. And yes, Christina, it's awful. It's called occipital neuralgia, and now I get needles physically in my head every 3 weeks. I get 3 needles here and one behind my ear.
Oh, wow. So
Um,
is it like acupuncture, I guess, right?
no, they're
No?
they're steroid. They're a nerve blocker. They block my nerves, so I don't feel as much pain.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Does it work
So
immediately?
it's supposed to. So yes, it does work
Mm.
immediately, and then it's been not lasting as long. I've only been having them for a couple months now. So I went
Mm.
a full year and a half with nothing, like just pain meds and trying to manage and trying to survive. So what happens is your pain threshold increases. You get used to it, literally, right? And you
Mm.
learn how to manage it. And one of the ways to manage this is acceptance. Okay, I know I'm going to be tired. I know my menopausal symptoms are going to be exasperated, and I have to
Mm.
honor that. I have to honor the fact that I might, a win might be getting up and having a shower, putting on fresh clothes, and going to the couch for the day. As hard as that is to accept when you're loving life so much, when you're full of ooh la
Mm.
la moments, when you're full of energy and enthusiasm, but you have to accept those days. So I get tired anyways. I get brain fatigue anyways. Who doesn't in their mid 40s or early 50s or whatever we want to call
Mm.
ourselves? But when you know it's exasperated or the weather can complicate things, it makes eating healthier that much more important. It makes moving your body that much more important.
Mm.
It makes nurturing your mind, body, and soul, whatever that looks like. It could be listening to these episodes while you're painting.
Mm.
Christine and I were talking about this off camera, and I said, yeah, sometimes I'll end up listening to my own episode without realizing it because I've started to listen to Mel Robbins or somebody else, and then next thing you know, I'm listening to myself, but I'm busy doing something that I don't switch. I just listen and it's cool. But the one thing I've learned is the more we can step into healthy eating, the more we can step into truly honoring that this is our temple, and the more we listen to it, the more life we're going to get out of life. The more we fight it, the less life we're going to get out of life. And these are
Yeah.
some hard lessons. And so last year, when this first happened, I saw a naturopath and she put me on, after some testing, no gluten and pretty much no sugar. I lost
Mm.
weight right away, but I didn't feel better. And I
Mm.
connected the journey of losing weight to feeling better, to the nerves. I was hoping that this would have been a solution to this one problem.
Mm.
And because it didn't affect this one problem, I got off the wagon, right? For those that are listening, sugar is more addictive than cocaine. So if you are listening to this and you are struggling with getting started, you've got two experts at fingertips who are sharing different parts of their stories and why nutrition is so important, why living a healthy life is so important. Um, we're all going to be trapped in our own thing. It may be big, it may be small. And when I say thing, it could be mental health, it could be raising three kids on your own, it could be going through a divorce, it could be starting a new business, it could be all of that at once. Because, yeah, it's happened, right? But you need to,
Absolutely. And
you, right? You need to accept yourself where you're at. And once you do that and listen, it changes. So when you want that sweet treat, go for the walk. Move your body, shake it up, put a song on and dance. Have you ever done that?
I'm not such a big dancer, just in
Mhm.
between, but I love movement. And I really like to touch on what you just shared. If you I look at food in a different way. So I look at food it's my fuel. So whatever I put into my body is recreating my body basically, because our bodies are all of the cells are renewing themselves. And if you put some rubbish in, then you get some rubbish out. So if you think of food as fuel and you just look at what you have on your plate and you eat as if you love yourself. Yeah. So just imagine you were your girlfriend and or your child and you just think, okay, so what do I want to give her to thrive? So you give her good food. But then we all know, okay, so the healthy food, this is one of my principles, make the healthy foods as flavorful as possible so that you really love what you eat. So you just want to enjoy what you have on your plate. Because if you don't, then you're not satisfied. And this is then when you just start looking at your fridge again and again because you just want to have something that satisfies you. But then we also know we every now and then we want something for our soul. We just want to have that sweet treat. So we can make the sweet treats really healthy. It's still a sweet treat. But what I teach is it's something it's called the worth it method, where you eat about 80% of the time you eat healthy food that is delicious, but it's everything on your plate is good for you. And then you have worth it treats that you sprinkle in and that you can have that regularly. So for example, I my one of my worth it treats is I go to the local supermarket. I have a chocolate croissant there's nothing healthy in this chocolate croissant. It's just absolutely divine. It is so good. It makes me so happy to eat that. So I have this maybe once a week or every 2, 3 weeks. And I eat it and then I'm not feeling guilty. So that's for me a real worth it treat because it just makes me happy. I know it's not good for me, but it's also not bad for me if I just do it every now and then because I wrap it in all that healthy food that I eat otherwise that gives me the energy that makes me feel good. And this is the concept, and this is what I think. If we embrace that now that we're so wise and we're in midlife, then it
Mm-hmm.
just makes everything so much easier, doesn't it?
It does. And learning, and I know better. I know that food is fuel. When you attach food to a goal, and that goal has a different, and then you end up with a different result versus what you expected,
Hmm.
that is where things go wrong. And we often attach food to a goal.
Yes.
Okay. We
No,
do.
I know what you
We do.
mean.
Right. So taking your approach, and I didn't realize I did not realize I had attached food to a goal.
Hmm.
But looking back, I did it all the time. I would sign up for a 10K or a 5K, and then I would use that as my excuse to start running, my
Hmm.
excuse to start eating healthier, my excuse to start training. So many times without realizing it, even when you're working with the coach, you are attaching that nutrition and that self-value to a goal,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And what we want to do here is we want to transfer that to a feeling. We want to transfer that to a different outcome. We want to transfer that to a lifestyle. And that's
Hmm.
what Christina does. That's what I can do for other people, knowing what I did now. But sharing our experiences and being able to be aware gets you these results. You have to learn
Hmm.
the hard way. So
But
there's
you
a couple,
obviously
go ahead.
you got that light bulb moment when you realized it, which is great because I really think when you're in midlife, this is the time when you also learn to listen to your body, which is definitely a skill. So because we, as you said, we're so used to do this that way, do the whatever, go running, go and eat of whatever amount of protein and then add the fiber and then you're just doing all the things and you wonder why you're still feeling crap. And
Mhm.
that's probably because you're disconnected from your body and your well-being. And sometimes it's not the time to do the 10K, yeah.
No, it's not. Or
Um,
it's not the time over the course of what I've been going through. You can imagine the impact on my mental health with
yeah.
my head now. And I didn't even share with you some of the war stories that were thrown in there and kicking me while I was down. I've got
Mm.
this major health issue, and then I have an employer that decides to lay me off permanently while I was
Ah.
employed with them. I had my tenants that would not leave my rental property because I needed it, and I needed to spend money to get them out, and it cost me so much over a year that I barely made
Mm.
anything, and that was supposed to be my future, right?
Yeah.
You add these stresses to a severe health issue. And like I said, just because I'm sharing mine, I don't expect you guys to be familiar with mine. 3% of the population have what I have. So it's
Mm.
not common. If people say that they know it, it's not likely. Occipital and trigeminal neuralgia are inflamed nerves in two different areas of your head. And the
It
reason why I
sounds
bring,
nasty.
you know what, when a
Yeah.
pillow hurts your head, it's nasty. When you want to pull your
Mm.
hair, I normally can't wear my hair up in a ponytail. So
Mm.
you're getting the images, you're getting the feeling, you're getting the vibe. Now add those other stressors in there. And on top of that, you've got loving family that is looking to communicate with you, but they're asking you the same repeated questions every day, making you feel so small.
Mm.
Um, and you're already doing a good enough job of making yourself feel small because you don't understand what's going on. You don't understand what happened to your life.
Mm.
At this point,
I can so relate to this because
yep.
it's just so just do not want to be stopped. That's the thing. So if we get sick, we know we have all these ideas, we have our businesses, and we just want to achieve things, and then suddenly something happens to us, and then to really do the full stop and give your body the time to heal is just such a big challenge. And I absolutely get this. And I think this is the time now to learn this, that and also to realize if I'm now stepping back, I'm not lazy. I've established that. I'm not deciding to, whatever, take an extra nap in the afternoon because I'm lazy. I'm doing this because I feel that my body needs that. And I try to do this. I'm not always perfect, but it's just really I invite everyone to just check in with yourself in the morning when you wake up and just see, okay, so how am I feeling? Am I feeling like I want to do like a hardcore weight session right now? Or is maybe today a day where I just do something a little bit more gentle and relaxed in the first few hours before I go and sit down for work? Maybe today is the day when I'm having a nap in the afternoon, or maybe today is the day when I'm just finishing earlier. Because I mean, who's telling us what we need to do? Of course, if you work for someone else, there's some limitations. But if you're self-employed, you can definitely do things like this, and then you just work harder another time.
Or do you? You see, and then
Yeah.
you brought up, Christina, you brought up some really valid points. You're honoring your body, you're sitting still, you're listening, you're learning to ask,
Mm.
oh, we just missed the call from my dad. He calls every day, guys. I am lucky. I am lucky. But I had mentioned to Christina beforehand that my dad will likely call during. And
So
yes,
so funny he did.
he did. He always does when he wakes up. And again, I love it. I know one day I'll miss it. He's gone through his own health issues, and I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to be a lot like him because inflammation is inflammation and it shows up differently.
Mm.
What I love about what you said is that you could, although it's different, you can relate. And that is the truth with so many of us. I
Mm.
don't want you thinking we're in a competitive spot where one illness or one life trauma or one story is stronger or better than the other. I want us to feel like we can relate. Because when
Mm.
we can relate, although it's different, we can still inspire and help one another. You see, what I learned, and this was from my family doctor, what I learned is your mental health is more important than the number on the scale.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But how many times do we associate the two in one way
Sometimes
or
I just
another?
wish more people would just stop looking at the scales because that's another thing. So I'm always why I just say is it's about whatever fitting into your clothes and how that feels. But I think it's probably because of our upbringing. We're just like I still can't check it off myself that you just look at your scales and you're just so happy when it shows whatever a kilo less. And we all know this could mean so many things. Yeah. It could mean that it's just a little bit of water that you peed out. Yeah. This is why you're showing less. It could also mean if you're losing more weight that maybe you lost some muscle. Yeah. And you swapped it with fat and fat is lighter. So it doesn't mean anything in which direction it goes. It if you need to have that feeling so that you know, okay, so I definitely my trousers are feeling tight. So maybe this is now the time to do something and just watch those sweet treats that I eat after 9 p.m.
Yeah.
and reduce a little bit on that. But we just need to stop being obsessed about the scales. Yeah.
I think that's our age. We talked about this earlier.
Mm,
You know, you're a year older than I am. Okay, so we were both
yeah.
born in the early 70s. And if you think about that, our grandparents then would have been like our in the my parents were born in the 40s, so our
Yeah.
grandparents would have been raising our parents in the 50s and 60s, so to speak, depending on when they were born. So go back to those TV shows and we're thinking like Leave It to Beaver, where there's a housewife who looks really skinny and fitted, and all of the models on TV that we saw, they weren't models, but the mothers on the shows that we would be comparing, that our mothers would have been comparing themselves to or using themselves as guideposts
Hmm.
at that time is being transferred to us indirectly. Because when we were kids, they monitored that. They monitored how
Hmm.
much we weighed. They were curious. You know, our moms looked a certain way. To this day, my mom still talks about her weight. She saw a video of herself the other day and she goes, "Oh, I looked skinny. I need to go back on a diet." To this day, and she is
Yeah.
78. She worries about her weight. So,
Yeah,
of
I know.
course, this is showing up in our generation, and we're doing the best that we can not to pass this forward to our children or to the future. I raised three girls, and body image didn't show up. There was no body image problems until they started feeding themselves. I had no control at that point. You know, their high school
Hmm.
years, they were going through the same life changes as we are now, right? But even to this day, you know, some of my kids have had different medical problems, and I know they need to eat better. I know they need to
Hmm.
weave in some of the good stuff, right? And that's a good starting place. And I loved what you said about just weaving it in. I thought for sure you would have shared the 80-20 rule the way I do, and the way most people see it
Hmm.
is, you know, that you're on track 80% of the time and off track 20% of the time. And for a lot of people, they treat that like the work week and the weekend.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
But that's not true. The weekend
Mm-mm.
is actually 25%, and that is why you don't get results. If
Hmm.
you are good all week and bad Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, that is 25% of your week. That is not 20%, and that's a big difference. But what I prefer is that you are on track 80% of the time, Monday to Sunday, like Monday to Monday, however you want to call it, Sunday to Sunday, and you just weave in, you sprinkle in
It's
that little
actually
bit.
much better if you, so I usually avoid the 80%. Um, because if you say most of the time, so you're good eating healthy most of the time, and you indulge some of the time. Of course, this is open to interpretation, but if you then say, I allow myself 2 to 3 worth it treats, which could be half a pizza that I eat Saturday night. Then I have whatever, the croissant sometime on Sunday, and that's it for that week. Or maybe there's a week, whatever, you have several occasions in the evening, and maybe you share a dessert with your husband or something like this. But just be a bit mindful, and then if you know you allow yourself that, you're not binging, because this is the when you're too restrictive, this is then when you then start dreaming about, oh gosh, what can I eat? And then there's a weak moment, and then you just can no longer stop
And then
yourself, and then you binge. And this is what we want
you
to
eat all of
exactly
those
eat
desserts. All of
all the
them.
cookies, even if they're frozen. Yeah.
All of the frozen prune treats. I don't even know what to call them. You eat
Yeah.
all of them. And then you'll wonder
Yeah.
why you have to go to the bathroom.
Yes. So this to avoid that. And if you know, okay, so maybe it's always good to start the week off good. Yeah. So
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
So maybe until Wednesday we're good. But we also know Friday I'm going to meet my girlfriend, and we always go to that cute little cafe, and we have a piece of cake. And I know this already, so I can say, okay, so I'm deciding right now I'm not having that snack because I know I'm going to have it on Friday. And I'm just feeling good on Friday when I'm having my snack, and I'm not feeling guilty at all. So this is the kind of mindset that I want to bring across
I
so that
love it.
it doesn't feel so restrictive.
No, it feels more like a lifestyle. Now, would you give that same advice to somebody that is looking to start? So
Yeah, so I
like
yeah.
what I'm picking up is what you're saying is absolutely perfect for somebody looking to maintain. But if you go to somebody who's at the beginning of their weight loss journey, or they have a lot to lose and they don't know where to start because they don't realize this without a coach, but normally they start with too big of a step and they do it alone. This
Yes.
is where the failure happens. A, they take too big of a step, and B, they do it alone. So they're not consistent and they're not accountable. And they don't have a
Yeah.
coach in their pocket to remind them you took too big of a step. Be prepared to fail.
Yeah, and this
Um,
is why it's so good to have coaches like us, because we will be by your side, and we will
yeah.
remind you, and we also will be there when you fail, because it can happen. What I do is I have like an 8 week weight loss program, and I have what I call, it's like a 4 week strict phase. So where it's not that you're just eating like salad leaves and picking on your plate and you are going to be hungry. So you will feel satisfied after those meals, but there's no sugar in these meals. So it's this is like, so we then say we eat healthy all of the time. So, but it's for a limited period to kick things off. And then you just usually, I mean, if you know this from your clients, if you do this for 1, 2 weeks and you already see, okay, there's the first results, and I can feel that my trousers fitting much better, and I'm starting to lose weight or fat, then you're much more motivated to continue. And then once we feel this is the right time, then I start introducing the worth it treats. And then they stay, and you were absolutely spot on. This is more like for maintenance. Of course, we do not want to start with the snacks, but we can talk about the snacks and why it's so quick. I mean, if you do like 3, 4 weeks, a little bit stricter, it's absolutely manageable. And I've giving loads of tips on how you can handle this if you're invited for dinner, or if you still want to go out. So it's not that you want to become a hermit and you just prepare your salad alone, yeah, at home. You still
Yeah,
want to
and
live your
that's the
life.
thing. I mean, there's so many key points there. I just realized the time and how we kind of got carried away in the conversation because I got an alarm for my
Yeah.
my another appointment I have in half an hour. So we're gonna sum this up with the fact that if you are anywhere on your nutrition journey, if you are in midlife and you want to discover what's hiding on the inside, I want you to indulge in today's chat and join us and write out what you feel and what stuck out to you the most today because you came across this podcast for a reason. You're listening to this information for a reason. You're likely somewhere in the ages of 45 to 60, 65, maybe somewhere in there. And you're dealing with so much to begin with that going for that walk when you're starting to feel tired or a couple of hours before you feel triggered would would make such a small shift. listening to music and dancing to a song, or maybe you need to listen to three or four songs and finally that, hey, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey, Mickey, and you
I
can't
need to
help.
try this.
Oh my gosh, you can't help but dance.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to do something crazy and follow your soul for the first time and go to a church. And I now sing at church four songs a week, not in the choir, in the congregation, as loud as I can. And I don't sing. I also joined
Singing is
Aquafit.
great. I
Singing
think
is
it's
so
the
great.
vibrations
It
really good
is,
for
it
your
is.
soul. Yeah.
But my soul craved it. So I now do Aquafit in a pool at the Y so I can sing. The moves are secondary. Singing feels so good. It's these little things that we can do, whether it's music, whether it's movement, whether it's nutrition, whether it's mindset in a phone call or a conversation like this. What this does is it reins you back in. It reins you back in and reminds you what it is that you are truly capable of.
Hmm.
Christina, what words do you have for everybody listening to this?
Well, just embrace those years that we now have and enjoy them. They should be fun. They shouldn't be the end of anything. They should be the beginning of a really nice and exciting new chapter. And if it doesn't have to be tied to losing menopause weight or anything, just do something that feels good and brings you joy. So those are my words of wisdom. This is what I'm trying
I
to live every day.
you know what? I echo that and appreciate the fact that every day looks different.
Yeah.
And that in itself speaks volumes because perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, nobody's told you that this chapter is about 10 years long.
Yeah.
Nobody's shared with you how hard it is or what it's like. It's like we don't talk about how hard giving birth is. We don't talk about how hard certain things are in our life. We just get through them. Well, you're not alone. So if a day looks like getting up, getting dressed, having a shower, going back to the couch, and you somehow squeak a walk in at 4:15 in the afternoon in between six naps, good for you.
Yes. Yeah. If it's a day when you need your six naps, then give yourself the six naps. Yeah. I
And
love
stop
it.
fighting it. Stop fighting it
Yeah.
because it's gonna put you on that couch longer. But
Mm.
if you can
Yeah.
do that 15-minute walk, if you can do that shower, I know it sounds like this is bare minimum, but sometimes life is like that. Sometimes life needs you to appreciate these bare minimum days so you can have these amazing adventures. What I didn't tell everybody yet, I'm going to sign off with this is, Christina, this was so much fun, and we'll talk about this
Yeah.
afterwards. Most importantly, I just need to charge my AirPods or I won't be able to talk much. I want you to include some information when you send it to me on your Bloom Club.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can share that with our audience. And anything else, I know we talked about your two weight loss programs. You said I wrote this down. Where did I put it?
I said I have
Yeah.
a giveaway.
You
Two
have a,
things that I
okay.
can share.
All right, I want
One
to
is
say that.
Bloom Club, as you already
Okay.
said. So that's the easiest way right now. So if you like me, what I was saying, then join Bloom Club. You're invited to. It's you can join it for a free trial, 2 weeks, and it's all about accountability, answering all of your questions. If you sign up for longer, then you also get access to my weight loss program, and it's the cheapest way to work with me. So, and I just launched it last week. So I'm
Awesome.
very excited. We have monthly expert speakers about different topics. So it's a really vibrant, fun club to be in. And the only club where you wake up without a hangover because it's all about healthy eating.
It's all about green
Um,
tea and green water. Yeah,
exactly.
drinking the
And then if
sludge.
you, yes. And then we can
Sorry.
also include a link to my Love What You Eat guide, which is
Okay.
it's a little checklist about all the things that are mentioned. The Worth It method is explained in there, and I also have a mix and match recipe system. If you ever run out of ideas what to cook, then you find some good recipe inspiration in there. And it's also for free. You can just download it. I send you the link so you can put it in the show
Awesome.
notes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being such an amazing guest. Today was so much fun. And we are going to take the time to sign off. I will have all of Christina's information in the show notes. I will have my information included in the show notes. And I would love to hear where you come across this. Are you seeing this on Apple, Spotify? Sorry, are you listening on those stations? Or are you watching this Heart to Heart on YouTube? Because Christina is from Portugal. I am from Canada. So it's been amazing to be able to connect across the world with one another and share a same message. It just fills my heart that it's one of the things I am internally grateful for is technology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we have
Yeah.
it.
So big hugs to everybody. Thank you for joining, and I will see you all. I guess I'm a visual person on the next show.
Bye.